Welcome to Hot Dog and a Handshake. I am not your host, Jolka. We're here with a special prediction show. We got your hosts, Jayden Tamagotchi and Shane Okinawa over here, ready to tear it up. How we doing today, gentlemen?
Why fucking Okinawa?
Closer than I expected. Closer to the intro than I.
Hey, you're forgetting my credentials.
Oh, that's true. That is former DDT Ironman heavy metalweight champion Shane Okinawa.
Don't forget.
Yeah. So we recorded a whole episode. We talked about the WWE releases, mostly. We talked about some other stuff that kind of
The overwhelming power of Callum Newman froze up.
Yeah.
No, I swear to God, the Invisible Man, we be talking about him so much. He's like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to here and hit the stop
He's
button.
the one who stopped it.
Yeah, so.
Stop button. It was the fucking freeze.
It was the invisible. No, it was the invisible stand.
It was the invisible stand.
heel.
Oh,
The heel, yeah.
The prick.
So we did talk about all of Wrestling Dontaku as well. Highlights. The War Dog and House Torture Cage match was awesome. The Yoda Tsuji Uemura match was awesome. I still think we need to talk about, just rehash what we already talked about. Haruki Goto, Callum Newman. Star-making performance for Newman. Like, this kid is going to be the top gaijin. He wants to be IWGP World Champion. I think that's going to happen someday. So good. What did you think, Shane?
I mean, it's like if you took Starlight Kid out of Stardom and threw her into All Japan as
made her
Callum
British.
Newman. And made her British, yes. So I think it's like Julia. Threw her into
A lot of things get better when you make them British.
Not really.
No, I don't.
Not really, but I guess Starlight Kid does.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, no.
I gave this a light 5. It barely hit the 5-star mark for me, but it still got a 5 stars. Incredible match. I'm so excited to see where Newman goes from here. I'm excited to continue Goto's reign. Since they rebooted the lineage with Ibushi, was that in 2021, right? Earth to Shane?
Sorry.
What year did Ibushi reboot the lineage of the IWGP? Was it 2021?
2020, I think so, yeah.
Okay. Since they rebooted it, Goto is the first champion to have 5 successful defenses. And he's had the belt for like 3 months.
Goto Revolution, baby.
So we'll see. He's got Zack Sabre Jr. coming up. He's got Shingo Takagi coming up. And we'll get into, like Jolka said, this is going to be mostly a prediction episode now. So we'll get into the predictions, starting with Fred Rosser, the artist formerly known as Darren Young.
I'm just going to say this. If you guys win because of the glitch, I changed my prediction. Is there any way to track that before and after glitch?
I have it all written down, so you can just give the same predictions you gave last time.
Excellent.
Okay. So Fred Rosser is taking on Matt Vandegrift. I went with Rosser for 5.
I'm going to go with Darren Young for 3.
And I'm going to keeping on with whatever I chose last time.
Fred Rosser for 3, yeah.
Yep.
Right there. Next up, we have the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs. They will be defending their strong openweight tag team titles against the United Empires team of TJP and Templario. By the way, Templario is a luchador with a medieval knight gimmick.
He's a member of the Knights Templar.
He's a member of the Knights Templar. So him being in a group called the United Empire, pretty cool, I think, with kind of the royalty gimmick of that and the crowns up and everything.
Oh wow!
I went with the West Coast Wrecking Crew for 3.
I'm going to go the World Class for 1.
Or the World Class, not the West Coast anymore. Yeah, the World Class Wrecking Crew.
And I said them for 6, but I almost want to. No, I'm going to stay with them.
Okay, you stay with the World Class Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, just the thought of that dude in the night outfit,
bonus points for if Royce Isaacs wears a Strider Sanders jersey at Resurgence.
That'd be crazy. Then we have the War Dogs, which is Clark Connors, Gabe Kidd, David Finlay, and Gato, taking on the Young Bucks and 2 mystery partners.
Chad Too Bad and Sex Ferguson, yeah.
I would say it appears to be 2 good brothers. We will see who it ends up being. I have the War Dogs for 2.
War Dogs 2.
and I got them for 4.
Holy shit,
Dogs
you
for
can do
4?
math. 2 plus 2.
Next up, we have the strong openweight title. That is Tomohiro Ishii's first defense against Drilla Maloney of the War Dogs. I went with Ishii for 4.
Ishii 6.
And Ishii for 7.
Yeah, I forgot to mention 7 is the max on this one. So Joker's putting his max points on the Stone Pitbull. Next title match, we have the never openweight title, Konosuke Takeshita versus El Phantasmo, the rematch of their time limit draw at Dontaku. I'm going Takeshita for 6.
I usually put Takeshita 7. I'm going to stick with Takeshita, but I'm going to go 5.
I'm going to change it to 5. All right.
Yeah, I'm going with Phantasmo for 1.
All right. Picking the upset, but just for a little tiny
Yeah.
amount of points. I like that strategy.
If he wins, we lose.
Yeah.
The way I structured it is that I'm basing my points off your intelligence. You know, I'm picking this guy. I'm going to pick this guy for 1 more. Like,
Yeah.
Your price is ready, us asshole.
Yeah. He's trying to play us. Mercedes Moné defending the strong women's title against Azumi and Mina Shirakawa. I went with Mina for 1.
I'm sticking with Zumi for 4.
And I'm sticking with Monet for 5.
Yeah, I like that we all 3 picked different people. So
I'm not going
no matter
against
what.
Zumi.
Like, it could be like a 1-0-0, a 4-0-0, or a 5-0-0. So it's like, it's the biggest if Joka wins, if Monet retains.
Right, yes.
Absolutely.
But it's no matter what, 2 people are getting zeros on this match, which is cool.
I think you
Unless there's
guys.
some sort of draw.
I think you
Triple
guys
threat.
need me to get a 0 on this match.
Maybe.
I'm hoping
mean,
so. I'm hoping for it.
We didn't really need you to do much on Dontaku. I should have mentioned on that. Joka was 3rd place with 57 points. Shane was 2nd place with 73 points, and I was 1st with 81 points.
Awesome
Fucking
segue.
cage match.
Awesome segue.
And then the last match on Resurgence, Haruki Goto defending the IWGP World Title against Zack Sabre Jr. I have Goto for 7. Shane?
Go to 7. GTR.
Goto for 2.
Goto for 2. All right, so just making sure that we are indeed still recording here. We are going to get into the Backlash predictions. Now, we will get to go a little bit more in depth here because I do want to know some thoughts. First question, does this first U.S. title match, which is Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest versus L.A. Knight, does this match get added to Drew McIntyre's dropkick matches of matches where he was screwed?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Easily.
I see this going to DVD.
Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on this U.S. title matchup, 4-way?
Anything that has Chicken Fatu in it, I'm here for.
Mm-hmm. I like the Backlash thing of throwing 2 WrestleMania singles matches together into a 4-way.
Yeah.
I like that. What are your thoughts on it overall?
Oh, it's gonna
How
be
we got here and yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a good match.
Mm.
It's definitely gonna be a good match.
I'm going with Fatu for 4.
Fatu for 4.
5
as
is your
well.
max.
I'll give you Fatu for 4.
Fatu for 4.
I'm gonna do Fatu for 4.
All right, just completely taking that match off the board.
Well, we like Jacob Fatu over here. So.
Yep.
I mean, that's an easy pick on that one, I think.
Yeah. Next up, we have the first. This is Fatu's first defense. So that makes sense. The first defense, correct, of the Intercontinental
Yes.
title for Dominic Mysterio against Penta. So, what do you guys think of this? Dominic and Penta.
I love Penta obviously, but I think Dominic's just the force is too big there for
He's
anybody
getting over.
else.
Yeah.
This will decide if Dom's just holding the belt for someone else.
Mm.
That's if he wins this match, he's on fire.
I think the crowd reaction at WrestleMania should have decided that. That should have been like, this
Absolutely.
guy's going to be Intercontinental Champion for a good while.
Yeah.
I went with Dominic for 2. Not that I'm not confident in it. It's just there were other things I'm more confident in.
I'm gonna go Dominic 3.
Dominic 3.
I'm maxing out on Dominic.
Dominic for 5.
Yep.
All
I
right.
feel like almost all of these matches I can give 5 to.
Yeah, I'm most shaky on the women's Intercontinental.
So am I, but yeah.
But next up we have Gunther versus Pat McAfee.
Gunther 5.
Okay, I went with Gunther for 3. Go ahead and get your pick out, and then we'll talk about the match.
God, I want to say Pat McAfee.
Just throw
want
one
to
on him.
see-
Just throw 1 point on him.
You know what? 1 point on Pat McAfee.
I like it. Let's go.
If Pat McAfee wins, I'm
Yeah, we're gonna
going to quit.
Yeah, we're both gonna punch holes in our walls.
That is our time limit draw for WCW TV title.
Yeah. I like how we got here. This has been a fun story.
I do like Gunther just destroying people, so I mean, obviously, yeah.
I see Gunther losing with Michael Cole 1, 2, 3 counting
Does
because
Michael
the ref
Cole
is out.
count as a referee?
No.
Okay.
But who cares?
Who cares?
I mean, Paul Heyman didn't count as a referee, but he did that for RVD.
Yeah, great point
true.
there.
Good point. But he was in management. I think if you're in management at all, you can be an official.
I mean, he's had to have gone through official training at some point in his.
I mean,
He'll reveal.
well, last
he will
year,
reveal. He'll open his shirt, and it'll be a ref shirt under it.
Yeah, that's
last year CM Punk just threw a ref shirt on and got to run out there and count a 3 count. So
CM Punk took official training on his days off. You know that
True,
damn well.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's it. Interesting to see if it's just a squash, if Gunther just beats the brakes off of him, or if it's like an actual competitive match where Pat gets some work in. Because I mean, hey, Pat was good in NXT.
Pat will get some work in, but Gunther's gonna beat the shit out of him too. So
Where do we think this leads?
Pat McAfee, Michael Cole.
This leads to Pat McAfee going back to the announce desk with Michael Cole. Either way,
Yeah.
I don't foresee
But
him.
It's not.
Does somebody like save Pat from a post-match beatdown, and that's Gunther's next opponent?
I don't know. I think that's.
Does anybody like Pat McAfee in the locker room, do we think?
Probably not.
He
doesn't
Darius
Michael Cole
Butler.
on his side.
No, AJ Hawk saves him. By appearing on a Titantron and staring.
Yeah.
I mean, this could set up McAfee to be at least a tough guy to be out there with Cole when people do that.
I guess,
So
yeah.
it's a little more believable when he stands up.
Yeah. I don't know. On to the women's intercontinental title match. We have Lyra Valkyria, the inaugural champion, making her defense here against Becky Lynch. I'm going to go Becky for 1.
I'm gonna agree with you, Becky, for 1.
You have 2 and 3 left, by the way, Joko.
Lila for 2.
Lyra for 2. All right. So, any other thoughts on this match? On the build?
I have a thought. I'd like to change that to Becky for 2.
Becky for 2?
I don't like
I
the
immediately
build
regretted that.
of this match
Yeah.
at all.
There's some potential there to make it better if they can. Yeah, I saw that. If they continue on past Backlash with this feud, and I think they will, because like I said after WrestleMania, I think this is going to be the like establishing feud for this title belt, and I would be shocked if it doesn't end up at Becky on some point. I also would be shocked if this is Lyra's last time with the Intercontinental title. You know what I mean?
Right.
She'll end up a multi-time Intercontinental champion, whether she wins it back from Becky or that's longer down the road. But this is definitely going to could become an interesting feud as time goes on.
Absolutely.
It's just going to have to be booked right. Finally, your main event, John Cena's first defense of his 17th reign as WWE champion is against the hometown hero Randy Orton. The first time ever that we are seeing babyface Randy versus heel Cena.
It feels
Yeah.
wrong.
It's the first time we've seen Randy against heel Cena at all, because when Cena was like a heel in the early SmackDown days, Randy was on Raw.
Right.
So Randy's never like interacted with a heel Cena until now.
Right.
So it does feel wrong. It feels backwards. What do we think? What do we think of the build to this? And what do we think happens?
What build?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's just been a couple of promos and an
It's,
RKO.
hey, look, it's John Cena's Randy Orton again.
Yeah, it's just the last time. It's kind of like these Tanahashi matches we're seeing. They don't necessarily need a build. It's just like,
Yeah.
hey, for the last time ever, you're going to see this guy versus this guy.
Right.
So let's enjoy it.
That
You know what I
sells
mean?
me on the match anyways. Randy Orton, John Cena again.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cena for 5. Shane, you have 2 points left.
Cena for 2, I guess.
Cena for 2, and Joka, you have 3 points left.
Cena for 3.
Cena for 3. All right, so that is our predictions for NJPW Resurgence and WWE Backlash. I believe
only
Resurgence
difference
is
we
Friday
had on
night, and Backlash is
was
Saturday.
Jolka picks Pat McAfee. Jesus Christ.
The other than that, picks are all the same. It's just a matter of points. So this will probably be a really tight race. WWE ones are really up in the air winner-wise between us
Yeah.
because there's only 5 matches on these shows.
I know.
So, like, that's
gonna be a quick one.
There's a max of 15 points. That's like even in the Resurgence show, like that's a max of 28. If you get everything right on Resurgence, you'll get 28.
Should
on
we
the
do
2-night Dontaku, we did 81.
Should we do a runtime tiebreaker?
Too long.
Tiebreaker. Ooh, okay. Not a run. I don't want to do a runtime tiebreaker. I want to do a match time on Gunther Pat McAfee tiebreaker.
Ooh. Ooh. All right. If I was booking this show, how long would I give this match?
10 minutes.
Oh,
You're going 10 minutes?
Suck.
Yeah.
You took that right.
I'm gonna go with like. I'm gonna go with 7 minutes 25 seconds.
I'm gonna go 10 minutes and 9 seconds.
So if it's 10 minutes and 5 seconds, you lose. Shane. What an asshole pick! That's incredible. Incredible work, Jolka.
Why did you make me go first?
I don't know. I just said it, and then you offered it up first.
That's a good point.
I didn't make anybody go first.
Can I change my 10 to 10?
No, because we're going to be doing this all day.
You have time to make up, man.
Your pick is
predictions only. Usually an hour long.
Your picks are locked in. I'm going to say... okay, what do you guys think will be match of the night? What are you expecting to steal the show?
4-way.
The 4-way?
Randy Orton, John Cena.
You think it'll be the main event?
Yeah.
I'm leaning either the 4-way. I could also see Lyra and Becky stealing the show. I know
Yeah.
the build hasn't been great, but you get those two in the ring, and it could just be magic. I mean, they know each other so well. I think that could be great. As far as Resurgence goes, I think taking out Goto, Zack Sabre Jr. Let's take out the main event for this one. What, Shane, do you think steals the show? Because I think the women's match is looking awesome.
It's gotta be the women's match.
But
New Japan shows it's usually the women's match.
Ishii and Maloney could go nuts, though.
That's true.
That could be a great one, so we'll see. Tape up the light tubes, take the door off its hinges. It's time for Shane's GCW
Fuego Del
Corner.
Sol, you son of a bitch.
Fuego Del Sol, you son of a bitch. I called this, by the way. You want to explain what happened, and then we'll...
Yes. All right. So Atticus Cogar was taking on Sam Stackhouse in a pretty good match in Portland.
Mhm.
No, in L.A. And that no good, dastardly son of a bitch, KJ Orso, Cage, the former Fuego Del Sol, comes in, saves Sam Stackhouse from Atticus using his taser on him, and he tases his best friend.
Yep.
He usually wearing a shirt of the two of them backstage after the match. He lost his mask on.
Mm-hmm. So I predicted this when when the Atticus Fuego match was first announced as loser leaves GCW. I predicted that Fuego would lose and then come back as a different gimmick. Either he'd lose the mask or he'd have like a different mask. And it would be like, oh, Fuego Del Sol's gone, but I'm, KJ Orso, which sounds like a Star Wars name, by the way.
That's his actual name.
KJ Orso. It sounds like a Jedi. I predicted that. This was crazy to watch though, because I saw the clips online like as soon as it happened. Him also just tasing a man the size of Stackhouse. It's a sight to see.
Yes.
What else happened in GCW this week?
There was a little fuck up in the main event of the LA show
Mhm.
between Hammerstone and Effie, where the ref. Now, Joker, you were a wrestler. Let me ask you this question.
All right.
I'm gonna count, and you tell me if it's kick out or not. 1, 2. Does that kick out?
When did he kick out?
1, 2. Kick out.
No. Yeah, that's a 3 count.
Then
That is
Seems like a 3
count.
count to me.
he beat Hammerstone a little bit earlier. The ref did not call for the bell after the third slap. Match continues for a little bit longer. They roll up. Hammerstone. After he rolls the Hammerstone, he wins. It's not changing the match.
That's
thankfully.
a rare thing to happen.
Thankfully, the match result did not change.
Mm-hmm.
But if it did, that would have been a big storyline to run. Is that Dan Perch fucked up with Hammerstone?
Yeah. Was it a world title match?
Yes,
too?
it was.
Yeah. So what?
And what it
imagine
was
if it
Perch.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah. That's crazy. No. Yeah.
They went to Portland. Mr. Danger had a fucking crazy match.
Mm-hmm. What else do you expect from a guy named Mr. Danger?
Good point. Great point. Yep.
I mean,
They're coming to Maryland not next week, but the 18th.
mm-hmm.
KJ Orso will explain his actions
Mm-hmm.
on that day. And also after that, I think we're going to start getting KC things soon.
We should start getting announcements
So
for KC soon.
hopefully, and well, I know I will go through all of those
Mm-hmm.
as that comes closer.
Yep. Anything else from GCW?
Not yet. Actually, also yes. If you have Chiller Plus, watch the LA show. It was one of the best shows ever for GCW.
Yep. Did you watch Main Event this week, or are you going to start that next week?
Oh, yeah, I was at Main Event this week.
No, that
Right.
Yeah,
that was the week before. Oh wait,
Yeah,
the
but it
one
brought-
that came out this week.
Yeah,
you
it just
were at.
came out this
Okay.
weekend.
Well, we talked about it a little bit last week, so I guess we'll
Yeah.
start next week with. Next week we'll start a new segment. It's going to be called "It's Time for Your Main Event" with Jolka. Or I think it should be "It's Time for Your Main Event" starring Jolka.
Yeah.
I like that one better.
He's a star.
He's a star. Let's go into our favorite things of the week, I guess. If you're new here, this is the segment where I hand out a gold, silver, and bronze hot dog. Shane hands out a gold, silver, bronze handshake. Jolka does his 3 count of his 3 favorite things. Starting as always, Shane, what wins the bronze handshake this week?
GCW, crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious, and it's full.
All right. Which show was that? Was that
The LA show, yeah.
Okay.
Effie Hammerstone. It had Maki Ito versus Miyu Yamashita. It had
The Sam Stackhouse,
Sam
Kogar
Stackhouse,
stuff you were
Kogar
talking
stuff.
about.
It had Jordan Oliver and Alex Price against Subculture.
Ooh, I might have to watch that
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
I love Subculture, dude.
Yeah.
I love me a British tag team.
Lyco Stone.
Yeah. Yeah. My bronze, or actually, Joker, what's number 3 for you?
Paul Heyman shitting his pants when Jay Uso started yelling at him.
that might be for shoot, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my pants, Jay, no!
You're sure it wasn't Paul Heyman's spray tan?
That's coming.
It's coming. That's number 1. Honorable mention to the customer I had yesterday wearing a Kansas Lottery WCW shirt. Here, I'll
Shit
show.
logo and everything.
I'll show Joka the shirt. I had an old lady come into the Walmart service desk yesterday wearing this WCW shirt. It's like a Kansas Lottery
Wow.
thing. Yeah.
I would have bought it off of her.
With,
But, uh,
let's see, looks like that's
it's got Goldberg.
Nash,
it's got-
Goldberg, Savage, Rick Steiner, Sting. Can't tell who that is. That's Benoit, Scott Steiner. I can't tell who that is. Is that Conan? I think that's
Let me
Conan.
see.
Up there, is that Conan? The bald one up top?
Yeah, it's Conan.
Then Bam Bam Bigelow, Ric Flair, and Booker T, and Perry Saturn. Oh, and DDP. And I can't tell. Is that Disco Inferno?
That could be Disco Inferno. I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't really know who that is. Do you
no,
know?
it is Disco Inferno. Yeah,
Disco
it's
Inferno's on.
Disco
Disco Inferno is between Sting and Chris Benoit on that shirt.
Oh,
Disco
wow.
Fever.
But my bronze goes to Brody King versus Josh Alexander. Even though it ended in a time limit draw, it was still a banger of a match. Shane, silver handshake. What do you got?
The cage match.
The dog pound cage
Yeah,
match?
Dogma cage match.
Yep, that's a good one. Number 2 for you, Joka.
Randy Orton's promo on SmackDown.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. My number 2 was also, my silver was also the dog pound cage match. It was really fun. Gato jumping off the cage was awesome. Just all the House of Torture getting their comeuppance. And, like, for once, it's a match where the House of Torture's stupid shenanigans make sense to happen. But, like, the hitting somebody with the push-up board or whatever. And all the random House of Torture bullshit that ruins regular matches makes
Yeah.
sense in this dog pound cage match. And Jolka, if you don't know, the New Japan cage is there's a little bit of room on the floor like a Hell in a Cell, but there's no roof, and it's like from the floor because it includes the ring in there, but it's like half the height above the ring that like the WWE steel cage is.
Oh, really?
It's like a really short steel cage. It's also kind of flimsy, so it's kind of movable if you get thrown into it. But it's awesome. And they had 10 guys in that match. Yeah. Plus a couple of managers that were getting involved. Shane, what is your gold handshake?
It's going to be Goto Newman.
Yeah, that's my goal as well.
It's the best match of the week.
Awesome. What was your number one?
Jey Uso's match with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Way better than the opening promo.
I didn't get to watch Raw, but I've heard great things about that match.
That's the only match I got to see. It was really good.
Yep, so we'll see. Moving on here, I guess we'll get to our lightning round. Lucky I added a few indie matches to the end of this, so we have a little bit more to talk about since we're kind of going short today. On Dynamite, we have Claudio Castagnoli versus Samoa Joe. That's a 10 for me.
Yeah, easy 10.
Easy 10. Mark Briscoe and Jet Ball versus Ricochet and the Young Bucks.
It's an 8.
Yeah, just keep throwing these guys together. It's been great every week.
Give me Mark Briscoe and Becky Bailey in any combination.
Yeah. Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa versus Damian Priest and LA Knight.
That's 6.
That'd be a 5.
5. Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill for number 1 contendership to the WWE Women's Championship.
3.
I think that's a 0 for me.
That's a 1.
Yeah.
I like Jade. Just that's about it.
Yeah. On Raw, we're going to get Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez and Julia.
10.
10.
10.
10.
Easy 10. Easy 10.
We're also going to get the War Raiders versus the Creed brothers.
It's an 8.
I think it's probably an 8 for me.
Give them time. They
Maybe
could be
6.
good.
And AJ Styles versus Finn Balor on Raw.
10.
10.
Easy
10.
10. Easy 10.
Easy 10. What's your Ty Dillinger 10 of the week?
The women's tag.
Women's tag. I'm probably gonna go Claudio Joe for mine. What's your most excited match? Your 10 of the week. The number 1 best 10.
The number 1 would be the Rollins match.
The upcoming matches.
Oh,
the Io, Rhea, Roxanne, Julia, or like the
Io and Rhea, definitely.
Io and Rhea versus Roxanne and Julia, yeah. Other matches that are happening this week that I just thought were interesting around the indie world. Miyu Yamashita versus Indy Hartwell at House of Glory waging war on Friday.
Sure, man. Why not?
What would you give that out of 10?
This is a 9.
The 9. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jonathan Gresham at MLP Northern Rising
that's
on
a
Saturday.
10. That's a 10. That would be a 10 of the week, actually.
That would be your 10 of the week. And Mike Bailey versus Michael Oku versus Gabe Kidd, MLP Northern Rising.
Sure. Why not? Another 10.
Another 10? All right. Those are some pretty good ones. Match recommendation of the week. I'm going to go back to TLC 2017, AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Since we're going to get that on Raw next week, rewatch that match.
The nut one?
That's the one where
AJ's tights split?
I don't remember, but I know that's the one where it was supposed to be Finn and Bray.
Yeah, okay.
And then Bray got
that was
pneumonia or something, and then
something like that.
And then AJ to step in.
That's one of the first promos that like shows. I remember seeing the card like, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, but hey, I remember that match being pretty great.
The match was good deal, yes.
If you want to listen, before we go out, we won't talk about all the releases in depth. Of the releases, who are you guys most excited to see moving forward?
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai. I think that's mine as well.
Yeah, Dakota Kai.
Okay. Second for me is probably Shayna Baszler. I'm also Oro Mensah. I think is just a great athlete. I'm excited to see what he does.
Goes to Stardom.
Yeah. So what we lost when we were talking about the departures, the gist of it was everybody should go to Japan. Or all the women should go to TNA. That was pretty much what we said.
That was the gist of it.
And we did talk about a lot of other stuff, but I think we'll just continue on here. If you want to listen to more of us, we just put out our Extreme Rules 2011 review, which means that the classic show has been captured and compromised to a permanent
compromised to a permanent end.
Actually, we will be continuing as there will be a new episode out this week. We go to WCW Starrcade 1990, a show that happened in St. Louis. Features the Pat O'Connor Invitational Tag Team Tournament.
Another one of your early WCW things that you make us go on that aren't good, but they're entertaining.
They're entertaining. This is the Sting versus the Black Scorpion angle.
Yeah.
So that's one of the most famous WCW angles, I think, especially of that kind of earlier era. So be excited. We'll have that coming out later this week. As we've said, Resurgence and Backlash are this weekend. We have Double or Nothing on the horizon. So, you know what, Jolka? I mean, you took us in. You want to take us out?
Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm not your host, Jolka Runnamouth, and enjoy wrestling.
I see you got it.
Are you wrapped up in your cord again?
No, sure.
It's just all back to the same way it was.
Yeah.
What's next week's classic?
It is a Saturday night's main event.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Remember, it's the last like dog shit one we're doing, and then we get to some cool stuff. Yeah, if you want to watch next week's, it's Saturday night's main event from November 2nd of '85.
Oh, lovely.
Hey, Chad, we're done. First one. Let me see if I can.
Here we go.